Hey everyone, welcome to this training explainer. Today, consider me your personal mentor. We're going to get you up to speed on exactly how to automate Microsoft Purview eDiscovery tasks using PowerShell. If you're ready to ditch the endless manual clicking and level up into a true automation engineer, well, you're definitely in the right place.
All right, let's quickly run through today's syllabus. We'll cover our welcome to eDiscovery automation, fixing those pesky authentication connection errors, the core PowerShell workflow, modular scripts and error handling, verifying your legal holds, and finally, batch processing for scale. Let's get to it.
Welcome to eDiscovery automation. As a junior admin, you're going to find out real fast that relying on the manual web GUI for massive cases is basically an absolute nightmare. It's wildly time-consuming, highly repetitive, and let's be honest, incredibly prone to human error when you're 3 coffees deep and exhausted. PowerShell automation, that's your golden ticket. It gives you highly repeatable, legally defensible operations at massive scale. Before we even touch a single commandlet, just visualize the sheer scale of the cloud environments we're dealing with today. We're talking about securing massive, complex workloads. Trying to manage that with human hands? No way. It requires a level of precision that manual clicking just can't deliver. You absolutely need automation if you want to survive out here. Moving right along to Section 2, fixing authentication connection errors. Okay, so our very first technical hurdle is just getting your session connected properly. You've got to have the right tools in your toolkit first. I can't tell you how many scripts I've seen just totally fail because someone simply forgot the Exchange Online Management module. So double check that you have Windows PowerShell 5.1 or 7 Plus, the actual module installed, and of course the eDiscovery administrator role. Without those 3 things, we're stuck at the starting line. But hey, what about this incredibly frustrating real-world scenario? You've got the permissions, the module is there, but boom, your connection to the Security and Compliance Center completely fails. You just keep hitting these weird authentication or credential cache errors. So what's the play here? Well, the fix is basically a classic IT war story. First, you run disconnect Exchange Online to kill off that hung session. Second, and honestly, this is the magic step right here, run clear host. It totally wipes out that buggy credential cache that's tricking your system. Then finally, you just reconnect freshly using the connect IPPS session conlet. Easy. All right, on to Section 3, the core PowerShell workflow. Now that we are securely connected and past those annoying auth errors, let's break down the sequential steps. This right here is the absolute bread and butter of your script. First, establish that connection with Connect IP session. Next, use new compliance case to programmatically build your case container. Then apply your hold to lock down that data with new case hold policy. And finally, fire off your KQL search using new compliance search. Boom, workflow complete. Next up, Section 4. Modular scripts and error handling. Let's talk survival tactics. Look, out in the real world, bulk scripts are going to fail sometimes. Network drops happen, APIs glitch out, it's just a fact of life. If you write one gigantic monolithic script and a tiny piece of it fails, your whole 5-hour process could crash and burn. So instead, create small, reusable scripts with error handling baked right in. Let the script fail gracefully, log the error, and keep moving right along to the next user. And please, never, ever forget this golden rule of compliance scripting. You must always run start transcript at the very beginning of your session. It literally records every single command you type and exactly what the outcome was. Later, when the legal team comes knocking to prove exactly what you searched and when, this transcript is your rock-solid, defensible audit trail. When you're all done, just type stop-transcript. Simple as that.
Let's dive into Section 5, verifying your legal holds.
All right, pay attention because this is where the biggest gotcha for new compliance admins is hiding. Like we talked about, you use new case hold policy to implement your holds. This targets and preserves your data across mailboxes, SharePoint, and OneDrive, completely locking it down to prevent evidence deletion during litigation. But there is a massive catch when it comes to cloud propagation speed. 24. That is the maximum number of hours it can take for a legal hold to fully propagate across all of your Microsoft 365 services. Yeah, you heard me right. It is absolutely not instantaneous. Because of that massive 24-hour delay, you absolutely must use the Get Case Hold Policy commandlet to double-check that your holds are actually active before you rush in and start searching for content. If you run a search before that hold is fully applied, users could still be altering or deleting data, and suddenly your whole investigation is totally compromised.
And finally, Section 6, Batch Processing for Scale.
So let's talk about taking this all up to the enterprise level. Imagine legal runs in with an urgent request to put 5,000 users on hold by 5 o'clock today. If you just run one massive script loop for all 5,000 of those users, you are going to slam right into API limitations. Microsoft will throttle you, and your script will definitely time out.
The fix here is batching. You have to divide those thousands of users into separate, manageable chunks to avoid triggering that API throttling. You set up separate hold policies for each group. For instance, you could be actively processing batch 1, while batches 2 and 3 are just sitting safely in the queue, waiting their turn.
Honestly, implementing custom retry logic and smart batching, that's exactly what separates a junior admin from a senior automation engineer. You've got a plan for those API limits. You tell your script to just take a breather and pause if it gets throttled, and you logically divide up that heavy workload.
At the end of the day, this kind of structured, thoughtful automation is what ensures consistent and legally defensible processes across your entire massive cloud infrastructure. It protects the whole ecosystem, and, just as importantly, it keeps your IT team from completely burning out on endless manual clicks.
So, armed with the know-how of modular scripts, transcript logging, and batch processing, you've got the exact blueprint you need. But it all comes down to this. As AI and automation continue to eat up those basic IT tasks, are you going to be the one manually clicking the buttons, or are you going to be the engineer writing the scripts that run the whole enterprise? Fire up PowerShell today and take control.